Hey everyone, what's going on? So, we're officially creeping up on the start of the NBA season, and honestly, I'm buzzing just thinking about it. We're about a month and a half, maybe 2 months away from tip-off, and now that the official schedule is out, things are starting to get real. I wanted to get into this because there's a lot to unpack, not just with the regular season games, but also with the in-season tournament schedule. Later tonight, I'm planning a live stream where we'll break all of it down, talk strategy, key stretches, and moments in the schedule that could define the Lakers season. But before we get to all of that, I want to zoom in on something I think is super important: the first 10 games for the Lakers. To me, those games are not just another 10 games. They're the tone setters. They're the ones that can really shape momentum, influence confidence, and, frankly, tell us a lot about how this Lakers team is going to handle pressure early in the season. Looking at the schedule, the Lakers open at home against the Golden State Warriors. That's a fascinating matchup to start with because it immediately tests your defense against a team that can space the floor like no other, but also gives you a chance to showcase the new dynamics of your roster. I'm talking about how DeAndre Ayton fits into pick-and-roll actions with LeBron and how that might exploit Golden State's small ball lineups. I honestly think the Lakers match up well here. Even though Golden State has a dynamic offense, there's something about the Lakers' interior presence, combined with their ability to stretch the floor, that could give them an early edge. I fully expect them to win opening night if they execute well, and starting 1-0 at home is huge for confidence. The second game is also in LA, this time against Minnesota. That one's particularly interesting because it's essentially a narrative game. Everyone will be watching to see if the Lakers are truly a different team from last season. With a healthy roster, a more defined center rotation, and a new energy, this is the moment to show that they're capable of not just competing, but dominating in key matchups early on. Starting 2-0 at home in the first two games sets a tone that says, we're serious. We're ready to contend, and we're not letting the first losses define us. Game 3 takes them to Sacramento. Traveling always introduces a variable, but this one is still relatively manageable because Sacramento is still in California, so it's not a long cross-country trip. That helps maintain rhythm and energy. I don't see Sacramento as a huge threat this season. Offensively, they might have talent and can put up points, but defensively, they're not very disciplined. Their style often relies heavily on isolation, and while it can produce exciting basketball, it doesn't always translate to wins against a well-rounded team. I think the Lakers should comfortably take this game, even if it's technically the first game of a back-to-back stretch later in the schedule. Then comes Portland at home, which is the start of their first back-to-back. Back-to-back games are tricky, but the Lakers' early schedule is smart in that sense. They're staying mostly in California for the first 4 games, which reduces travel fatigue. Playing Portland at home, especially early in the season, gives them an advantage because they can manage minutes and rotations more effectively. I think a win here is crucial, not just for the record, but to reinforce that early season confidence. So, at this point, if things go according to plan, the Lakers should start 4-0, winning all 4 of their California-based games. That's the kind of start that builds momentum and sends a clear message across the conference. This team is serious. But here's where things get more complicated. After the initial 4 games, the Lakers head to Minnesota and then Memphis. This is where the early season gets a bit more challenging. Traveling starts to test the depth and endurance of the roster. Minnesota and Memphis are physical teams, and road games always carry that extra level of difficulty. I wouldn't rule out splitting these games. Losing one here is understandable, but losing both would complicate things a little. Ideally, the Lakers should aim to win at least one of these 2 matchups. Next up, Miami comes to town, giving the Lakers a chance to rebound and maintain home court advantage. A win against Miami keeps them above .500 and reinforces the narrative that they're capable of handling both the travel and the competition. Then comes another back-to-back with Portland. Now, this is where the schedule gets a bit sticky. Playing Portland twice off of back-to-backs introduces the potential for a trap game. Portland isn't a top-tier team, but they're competitive and could steal a win if the Lakers are complacent or fatigued. In an ideal world, the Lakers sweep Portland, but realistically, the second game might be one where they face resistance. San Antonio at home follows, which is a winnable matchup, and then Atlanta on the road closes the 10-game stretch. Atlanta is an interesting challenge because of their athleticism and versatile defenders. Young, energetic teams like Atlanta can give veteran teams trouble, especially if the pace and physicality are high. So, while this might be a winnable game, it's still one where the Lakers will need focus and effort to secure a victory. Putting it all together, I think the first 10 games will define the Lakers' early season narrative. Ideally, they aim for 8 wins, maybe even a perfect 10-0, though realistically, I wouldn't be shocked with an 8-2 record. Starting 4-0 in California is non-negotiable in my view because it's a stretch where they control the environment and can really establish themselves. After that, splitting Minnesota and Memphis, and then managing the back-to-back against Portland keeps them on track. Beating Miami, San Antonio, and Atlanta after those tougher stretches give them a strong foothold heading into the rest of the season. Beyond wins and losses, what I'm looking for in this first 10-game stretch is how the Lakers are winning or losing. Are they competitive in tight games? Are losses close, fought battles that could go either way, or are they being dominated? That distinction matters because it shows how the team is adjusting to new rotations, new players, and the challenges of a long NBA season. Early losses can be lessons, but how the team responds is what sets the tone. You want a team that doesn't go on losing streaks, a team that bounces back immediately after setbacks. Momentum in the first 10 games is about building confidence, chemistry, and a clear identity. So, in summary, my benchmark for the Lakers' first 10 games is starting 4-0 in California, aiming for an 8-2 record after factoring in road games and back-to-backs, and most importantly, establishing how they play under pressure. Early wins are vital, but equally vital is avoiding stretches of multiple consecutive losses. If the Lakers can handle this opening stretch well, they set themselves up for a season where they're competitive in every matchup, resilient in adversity, and ready to make a real statement across the league. Continuing from where we left off, after the Lakers' initial 10 games, it's really about sustaining momentum while facing a stretch of more challenging matchups and travel. This next segment of the season is where we start to see whether the early wins were a fluke or if the team truly has consistency and depth. The next 10 games present a combination of home stands, road tests, and critical back-to-backs that could define how the Lakers handle adversity early on. This is especially important for a team with championship aspirations because every lost opportunity in November can have ripple effects into December and eventually the playoff picture. The Lakers' next game after the 10-game mark is a home matchup against a team that's historically tricky, like the Denver Nuggets. Denver brings a combination of size, shooting, and defensive versatility that challenges teams to adjust on both ends of the court. For the Lakers, this isn't just about executing standard game plans. It's about seeing how LeBron and Anthony Davis manage rotations, how quickly Ayton and the supporting cast adapt to Denver's pressure, and how effectively they can control the pace. This game will be one of those early indicators that tells us whether the Lakers can compete with elite teams consistently, or if there are gaps that need addressing immediately. A win here boosts confidence and signals that they're not just a good team against mid-tier opponents. They can hang with the best. On the other hand, a loss, especially a lopsided one, could expose areas that need urgent adjustment. Following Denver, the Lakers head to New York. Playing in Madison Square Garden is always a different atmosphere. It's loud, it's physical, and it demands mental toughness. The travel alone is taxing, but the psychological aspect of playing in such an iconic arena adds another layer. For the Lakers, this is where their experience matters. Veterans like LeBron can use these moments to set the tone, calm the team, and maintain focus. The key here will be avoiding getting caught up in the crowd energy or letting the pace of the game disrupt their offensive flow. If they can take this game on the road, it reinforces that the Lakers are not just a home team. They can play anywhere and still compete at a high level. A strong showing in New York also carries a ripple effect because it builds trust within the locker room that the team can execute under pressure, which is invaluable for the long grind ahead. Next comes a brief home stretch against teams like Cleveland and Chicago. These games are deceptively important. On paper, they might seem easier compared to the Nuggets or New York matchups, but the risk lies in complacency. Teams like Cleveland and Chicago have young, hungry rosters that can exploit any lapse in focus. This is where the Lakers' defensive discipline will be tested. It's not enough to win just because they have more star power. They need to execute systematically, maintain intensity for all 48 minutes, and avoid letting games get unnecessarily close. Winning these games by a comfortable margin is crucial, not just for the record, but for maintaining rhythm and avoiding the emotional drain that comes from tight finishes against theoretically weaker opponents. Afterward, the Lakers hit another back-to-back, this time facing teams like Phoenix and Dallas. These stretches are challenging because they combine travel, limited recovery time, and high stakes. Phoenix, in particular, is a team that can punish mistakes. Their pace, shooting ability, and defensive versatility demand constant focus. The Lakers' ability to adjust rotations, manage minutes for key players, and still execute under fatigue will be a major test. Dallas, on the other hand, poses a different type of challenge. They're methodical, disciplined, and they exploit mismatches efficiently. Both of these games will be telling in terms of how resilient the Lakers are when faced with consecutive challenges without the luxury of extended rest. The next significant game is against Brooklyn at home. Brooklyn is always an intriguing matchup because they combine offensive firepower with unpredictable rotations. They can hit teams with runs that swing momentum quickly, which is why the Lakers' focus on communication and defensive awareness is key. LeBron and Davis need to be active in both offensive orchestration and defensive adjustments. How the supporting cast responds here will also be very telling. Players like Austin Reeves or Rui Hachimura have the opportunity to step up in these games, show versatility, and prove they can handle pressure in high-stakes moments. A win against Brooklyn here isn't just a notch in the win column. It's a statement that the Lakers can handle complex, multi-dimensional opponents without relying solely on their stars to carry every possession. After Brooklyn, the Lakers head on the road to face Toronto and then Milwaukee. This is where travel fatigue truly begins to weigh in as cross-country trips introduce both physical and mental challenges. Toronto is always tough because of their defensive schemes and their ability to control pace. The Lakers need to match their intensity from the opening tip to avoid falling behind early, which can quickly snowball into a deficit they can't recover from. Milwaukee, of course, is an elite team with size, shooting, and defensive discipline. This isn't just another regular season game. It's a test of the Lakers' championship potential. Beating Milwaukee on the road would instantly give the team confidence that they can compete against any contender. Losing is fine, as long as it's competitive, because it provides valuable data on what adjustments are needed for rematches later in the season. Finally, the last two games of this 10-game stretch bring the Lakers back home, where they face teams like Philadelphia and Utah. Philadelphia is an interesting matchup because of their defensive schemes and offensive versatility. They force teams to adapt in real time, which is perfect for testing the Lakers in game adjustments and rotations. Utah, on the other hand, combines athleticism with disciplined defense, and the Lakers will need to maintain focus for all four quarters. These final home games of the stretch offer a chance to reset after the road challenges, consolidate learning from earlier games, and establish a rhythm heading into December. It's a period where the coaching staff can evaluate rotations, minute distributions, and individual player performances without the added pressure of travel or hostile crowds. What's crucial across this second 10-game stretch is not just wins or losses, but how the Lakers respond to adversity. Early season success can sometimes create a false sense of security, and this segment of the schedule is designed to shake that up. Road games, back-to-backs, and matchups against top-tier opponents force the team to adapt, communicate, and execute consistently. Every decision made here, from in-game adjustments to player rotations to managing fatigue, has consequences that echo throughout the rest of the season. Whispers around the NBA corridors have started to intensify as speculation grows regarding one of the league's most tantalizing potential moves, Kawhi Leonard, currently a standout figure for the Los Angeles Clippers, may have given serious consideration to an offer from their crosstown rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers. While official confirmations remain elusive, sources close to team management hint that Leonard's camp has engaged in preliminary discussions, exploring the possibility of a transition that could dramatically reshape the balance of power in the Western Conference. The mere notion of Leonard donning the purple and gold has sent shockwaves through social media platforms, fan forums, and sports talk shows, prompting fervent debates about how such a move could impact both franchises. Analysts have begun speculating not only on the strategic implications for the Lakers, who would gain a proven two-time Finals MVP, but also on the psychological effect on the Clippers, who could face an identity crisis should a star of Leonard's caliber depart. Insiders suggest that contract details, player fit, and championship aspirations are at the forefront of discussions, with both sides carefully weighing the risks and rewards of such a high-profile maneuver. The rumor, persistent yet unconfirmed, continues to fuel excitement and tension alike, keeping the city of Los Angeles on the edge of its seat. Social media reactions range from cautious optimism to outright disbelief, reflecting the unprecedented nature of the potential shift in team dynamics and rivalries. The intrigue surrounding Kawhi Leonard's possible move to the Lakers has prompted a flurry of strategic speculation among basketball pundits and fans who are eager to understand how such a high-profile transfer might influence the competitive landscape. Analysts note that Leonard's versatile skill set, defensive prowess, and experience in high-stakes games would provide the Lakers with a transformative asset capable of bolstering their championship aspirations immediately. Meanwhile, the Clippers, who have relied heavily on Leonard as a cornerstone of their strategy, would face the complex challenge of recalibrating their roster and redefining their long-term goals, especially if the rumor materializes into a concrete transfer. Sources familiar with the matter indicate that negotiations could hinge on nuanced aspects such as salary cap flexibility, trade exceptions, and roster construction, highlighting the intricate chess game that underpins elite NBA transactions. Observers also point to the potential ripple effect across the league, as teams may adjust their strategies in anticipation of how Leonard's alignment with the Lakers could shift power dynamics within the Western Conference. The speculative buzz surrounding this scenario underscores not only the allure of seeing a superstar change allegiances, but also the uncertainty inherent in high-stakes basketball maneuvering. Fans and insiders alike are meticulously analyzing every possible angle, from tactical benefits to the broader cultural implications of such a headline-grabbing move in Los Angeles. Amidst the swirling speculation, attention has increasingly turned to the logistical and contractual hurdles that could define whether Kawhi Leonard's rumored agreement with the Lakers ever materializes. Reports suggest that both parties are weighing the fine print with extraordinary care, considering potential trade-offs, incentives, and the delicate balance of team chemistry that accompanies the acquisition of a player with Leonard's stature and reputation. While some insiders portray the discussions as preliminary yet serious, others caution that the leap from interest to actualization is fraught with obstacles, including salary cap constraints, existing roster commitments, and potential reactions from teammates and fans. The Clippers, in particular, may face a delicate negotiation phase as they attempt to retain Leonard's contributions while also preparing contingency plans should the transfer advance. Meanwhile, Lakers executives are reportedly examining the broader implications, evaluating how Leonard's arrival might affect leadership hierarchies, rotational strategies, and the long-term development of younger talents within the squad. This speculative scenario has ignited vigorous debate within sports media, with commentators dissecting possible outcomes ranging from immediate championship contention to a destabilized team culture. Despite the uncertainty, the ongoing chatter underscores the magnetic draw of high-profile NBA rumors, highlighting how the mere possibility of Leonard switching allegiances has captivated both analysts and fans across the nation, who are eager to witness the next chapter in one of basketball's most compelling city rivalries. Fan engagement has reached unprecedented levels as the rumor of Kawhi Leonard potentially joining the Lakers continues to dominate discussions across online platforms, sports podcasts, and televised commentary. Social media, in particular, has become a hotbed of speculation, with thousands of fans debating how Leonard's unique combination of scoring efficiency, defensive acumen, and playoff experience could redefine the Lakers' competitive prospects. Memes, polls, and hypothetical lineups have proliferated, reflecting both excitement and apprehension about the ramifications of such a transfer. Meanwhile, the Clippers supporters are grappling with the notion of losing a foundational player, prompting discussions about rebuilding strategies, potential replacements, and the impact on team morale. Sports analysts emphasize that even the mere contemplation of this move could influence trade valuations, draft strategies, and the calculus of rival teams, potentially altering the broader landscape of the league. In locker rooms across the NBA, insiders report that the rumor is already shaping conversations as players and staff speculate about shifting dynamics, leadership roles, and playoff matchups. The city of Los Angeles, already accustomed to high-profile sports drama, finds itself at the center of a narrative that blurs the lines between anticipation and reality, offering a glimpse of how a single player's potential decision can catalyze citywide, league-wide, and fan-driven discussions. The ongoing buzz demonstrates the enduring allure of speculation in professional sports, where rumors often drive engagement, narratives, and sometimes even market behavior, creating an atmosphere of suspense and intrigue that extends well beyond the hardwood. As the rumor mill around Kawhi Leonard's potential move to the Lakers continues to churn, the broader implications for the NBA are becoming increasingly apparent, suggesting that this speculative scenario could reshape perceptions of team dominance and player mobility. Industry insiders note that a successful transfer might inspire similar bold moves by other star players seeking new challenges or championship opportunities, potentially ushering in a new era of high-profile TRR around a post-Leonard identity. Commentators have also highlighted the psychological R-scores, the potent role of anticipation and conjecture in shaping perception. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.